In this tutorial video, we would be discussing about the sourcing and contracts module. So this module basically would be used by the procurement team to create contracts, and there are several other functionalities that are available in this particular module. Those functionalities would be discussing. We would be discussing about those functionalities in the sequel videos for this particular application. So in this session or in this entire series, we would be discussing how to create a contract and how to manage the contract once created in the system, right? So to begin with, I would go to the sourcing and contracts module. From there, I would go to the contract tasks and click on contract master. So in the contract master, we have two viewing areas. So the both the viewing areas would give you different information about a particular contract. So for checking or for getting a brief, a brief information about a contract, you could find the contract in the contract view section using the contract ID. If you remember the contract ID, if you want to check a specific contract using its ID, you could enter a contract ID here and click on submit. So that would get you the contract along with all these details, that is the site to which this particular contract is mapped, the vendor details, the payment terms, delivery terms, and finally the contract status. So the contract creators details are also are also collected in this module. So the person who would be creating the contract, his name or her name would get reflected in this column. So this is one way to view a contract. So if I wanted to check, or if I wanted to get more information about this particular contract, that is, if I wanted to check the items mapped in this contract and what are the taxes and what are the HSN codes that have been mapped against those items. So I would come to the contract line level view for that, and just like I did in the contract view section, I would copy my contract code, paste it in the contract ID section, and select a site. So this particular contract is mapped with PL1783, that is Pfizer Lucknow, and click on submit. So this would give me all the details regarding this contract in a more drill down fashion. So it would give me the contract item codes that are available in this contract, the item description, billing rate, contract rate, tax, HSN, and all the other details that were covered in the contract level contract view section. So apart from these two views, we have some more functionalities as I talked about in the starting of this video. So we have an option to find get the APL format for this particular contract. So if you would click on this print button, you would find the APL format if you wanted to edit this contract. So if a contract is in draft or rejected state, you can always edit that contract. You can expire a contract if you want. If you want to kill a contract, you could do that using this functionality. If you want to copy this contract and map this entire contract to a different site, you could map it as a new contract to a new site. So that for that you can use the copy contract option, or else if you want to copy this exact contract to or extend this exact contract to some other site in other location, you can use the clone contract option. So coming to create contract, or how you would be creating a contract in this using this module, you could come to add contract application, begin with selecting the site details, right? Enter the vendor details for whom you are creating this contract, enter the vendor contact person details, select a payment term, enter the terms and conditions, you would be able to select the contract details from the in the contract type you would be able to select. If this is a new contract, you would be able to select new. If it is a renewal of an old contract, you could go with that option. And we have an option to set the category of this contract. So if this is an item contract or a service contract, you can select that from the list. So let's say this is an item contract. You could enter an MSA reference. You can enter the delivery terms, if there are any freight terms. So you could go with excluding on actual. If not, if the vendor does not charge any freight terms, you could go with inclusive. So in the next three fields, we have the option to upload supporting documents regarding this contract. So any supporting documents for this contract for the approvers to go through, you could upload those documents here. So I would go ahead and add some random test documents. And finally we get to select or set the validity date for this contract. So I would select a date range. Let's say March. So this contract would expire on 2nd March 2022 and click on submit. So the moment I would click on submit, a contract ID gets generated. So as you can see, contract 2021-11171 is my contract ID. So right now we are in the items section. So here I would begin with entering the item details or selecting the item codes. So based on the item code, I would select the description and UOM, price, the tax and the HSN code mapped to that particular item code would get automatically automatically populated. So I would be able to add in more details to this particular item. So if I wanted to add in more details, I could do that and enter the billing rate, enter the quantity, enter the billing rate, enter the contract rate. And if the tax and HSN details are not correct, you can always edit those details. You can change the details, make sure that every detail or every information that goes into the contract is correct, right? So finally, when you are done adding all the line item details, you could click on save. You could add multiple line items by clicking on new item button. If you want to take away any of these line items, you could select the line item and click on delete. That would go away. Those line items would go away. So once you are done adding the line items, click on finish, and this would go to the senior approvers or senior buyers for approval. So if you wanted to check the status of your contract, in the contract master, select contract ID, enter the contract code and click on submit. So this is my contract created for my Huawei site, and the contract status is in approval. If I would click on the eye icon, it would show that it has gone to Mr. Pradeep Sharma for approval. So that's how you would create a contract in the system.